This is likely to be my last video because I've fully realized the truth that I'm pretty damn sure I've finally reached the dialectical. I'm being completely honest. I think I've reached the dialectical. So, let's go on with this essay. The survival of the delusional, proving life to be rational, and why I'm probably done making videos. This is the most misled point always made against my arguments. Well, isn't it better to live my life than not live at all? After thinking about it, it's finally time to go into depth about the most utilized point against the vicious cycle of life and why it's completely wrong. The first point of this essay was I was going to argue about why value isn't real, but I figured out why rationality isn't real and why my argument is completely subjective. Value isn't real, feeling isn't real, emotion isn't real, empathy isn't real, happiness and pain aren't real, contentment and accomplishment aren't real. These are all delusions created by man, because without us feeling these delusions, we'd either get killed, have nothing driving us to live in the first place, and the living procreate and have children and propagate, which is why these delusions spread in the first place. The idea of something being more desirable than another is a delusion. Here's a good example. I have this ice cream and I have this second ice cream. There's ice cream A, ice cream B. I like ice cream A more than ice cream B. The idea that ice cream A is more valuable than ice cream B is based off of the delusion of desirability. I desire ice cream A more because its quality of appealing to my individual taste buds compared to more than the ice cream B is a lie. Wait a minute. It's a lie that it's okay. Wait, the idea that ice cream A is more desirable than ice cream B is done through the lie of taste. All senses are lies. They're all delusions. We've developed the ability to have a chemical reaction upon sensing something, but the actual feeling that we get upon sensing these are delusions that our brain is programmed to make us feel, or to make our consciousness feel. That chemical reaction, okay, wait a minute, no. It's, okay, I have to, god damn it. But the actual feeling that we get upon sensing anything is a delusion that our brain is programmed to make us feel. Realistically, there's no such thing as desirability. We merely feel it because we are human. We have evolved things that we have evolved to feel deprivations that keep us alive. And you know it's also a lie? The sensing in the first place. It's all delusion because it's equivalent to a hallucination, but it's just that it communicates something that is tangible to us that we either tell each other is tangible and understandable and fair, or that we tell each other, or that is actual just a projection of existence, like sight. Now let's go into more detail. When I see somebody crying, I begin to feel pity and the will to fix the situation for the crying individual. That is also a delusion because empathy is a delusion. The empathy I'm feeling is just as irrational as the desirability I find behind the two desirable ice creams. This stretches to every single feeling a human feels. This is not but a human's brain sending false messages to its consciousness designed to collide with the messages society gives it to do not but keep that person alive. This is the closest thing to the red pill and the blue pill in the Matrix that we will ever get. Which I'm also about to prove why it's kind of meaningless anyway. Now, one might make the argument, now doesn't that mean that being a human being in of itself is value? It's a holy thing. It's a divine thing that has meaning. Being human itself is meaning. That's misconstrued. The point of this argument is to say that every little bit of feeling that we ever feel is irrational, and our brain wait a minute. Every little bit of feeling is irrational, and is our brain doing its job, tricking our consciousness into living, which is an irrational thing. There is no value in life. There's no value in anything. Death, which I assume is nothing, is perfectly fine. But let's go even deeper. The concept of rationality isn't even real. The idea of being rational is created by humans and created by most creatures that are conscious likely to do not but guide them in the direction of how to live fully and correctly in a completely critical manner. It is subjective just like morals. Irrationality is rational, or in layman's terms, why do we have to be rational? There's no good reason to be rational because there's no good reason to do anything. which in of itself means that anything is a good reason to do anything. It's alright to believe in religion. It's alright to be bigoted. It's alright to be pro-life. It's alright to do any of these irrational things because it's pointless in the first place to be rational at all. Think about this. I love this song, but essentially, you can do whatever you want. If you don't feel a deprivation to not live, then why not do it in the first place? Nothing's compelling you to do it. You can let yourself just ride this current of obeying your deprivations because there's no reason to not to. It's the only thing that pushes you to do anything in the first place. It's fine to do anything. That is the meaning of life. It is because you can determine your own destiny. It is not irrational to live because the rationality isn't real in the first place. But this essay was a little bit short at all. Anyway, only 6 minutes. Wow. That's good too. And I'm probably done with YouTube because I've reached the dialectical and I can't imagine this not being right. If you have an argument against this, please comment it. Please do such a thing. There is no point in being moral. There's no point in doing anything, which is why there's point in doing thing.